Welcome back to Andertons TV.
Welcome.
Yes, we are looking at some little amplifiers today. If you're not familiar with this channel, we do gear reviews every single day.
Do we?
Yes, so it'd be great if you want to stay up to date. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Right. How would you describe this category of amplifier?
Practice amps, perhaps?
Yeah, it's pretty much the smallest, hyper-portable...
Travel amps? Practice amps?
So these are what are called near-field kind of amplifiers. So they're designed to be quite close to you in a small room or something like that, just for jamming around on. Mm-hmm. Really, really popular. Blackstar Fly is probably the oldest of the three and has been super, super popular.
Yeah.
NUX is quite a similar sort of enclosure to the Blackstar, but with a few more features on an app. Yeah. And then the Positive Grid Spark Go is the smallest one of the three, but with the fullest featured...
Newest of the bunch as well.
The newest as well, the fullest featured set of features. We're going to shoot them out. They are super popular. They're all about £100, give or take. We're using a slightly different microphone technique to how we might use if we were doing a big amplifier. So we're just going to be using these two microphones here for sort of trying to emulate a sort of a room sound. Yeah. And then whichever one of these three you're listening to, we'll put in the middle here so that it's picked up consistently by the mics. Which we're going to start with this one because we're plugged into it, right? So...
I like this, and size-wise, it looks really cool. It comes with two different grills on here. It's got the Bluetooth in it. It's super easy. Put it in your pocket. It's a pocket one, this one, isn't it?
We'll put all the spec on screen about you know how it works in terms of power and charge and all that kind of stuff. What you're seeing on my phone now is the super, super cool Spark app that this and its two bigger brothers, the Spark and the original Spark and the Spark Mini, all use. And you can see, and this is very different to how Blackstar do this. There's no app at all for the Blackstar, and there's a slightly less nice looking app on the NUX. So let's look at the app now that the whole Spark range uses. So this particular amp has a couple of bigger brothers. If you're not familiar, again, there'll be links to those and videos below, or maybe even up there.
Yes.
But they all use the same basic app. So check this out. It's so, so cool and visually intuitive. You can see now, if I go back to my main page, I've got this concept of rigs, right? So every single one of these, as I'm scrolling down now, is a different combination of amps, pedals, all that kind of stuff. So it's like having your own virtual studio full of gear. So this particular one that we've decided to use is using this Blackface Duo amplifier. It's a little bit fiddly actually on a phone, probably slightly easier to see on a tablet, but by scrolling my finger up and down, you can see I'm adjusting the knobs that my fingers are over. If I move the rig left and right at the top here, highlight an effect I want, you'll see I get a pedal, which anybody can go, oh, that's a compressor pedal, that's a drive pedal, that's easy. If I want to turn the drive pedal on and off, I hit the switch that you'd expect to switch if it was a pedal. It's so, so cool.
Yeah, even I can figure it out.
Yeah. In addition to loads and loads of guitar amps and pedals that you can use to make your rigs up with, that we'll demo in a minute, you can stream music through this. In fact, there's quite a lot of video that you can watch on the Positive Grid app. And then you can do crazy things within the videos, like cut sections out and get them on a loop so you can learn to play your favorite songs. You can, as you can see now, I have no idea if this is going to record me when it's in camera mode. It may not, but you can film yourself playing and then still using the sounds on here. Over in the sort of more, I suppose, settings section, you can see now I've got some songs I can save. I can link it to my Apple Music or Spotify accounts. I've got a tuner, all that kind of stuff, metronome in here. Very, very cool. But let's just have a listen to some of the sounds that Pete has chosen that he likes. So here's our first rhythm sound.
Did you change something just then?
I just put the booster on and some delay.
not going to annoy anyone with the level of volume coming out of it, because it's not super duper loud.
It's ridiculous.
It's tiny.
If you allow the room to become quiet and you sort of accept that this is designed for a room, we're in quite a big room studio-wise here. I think if I was in a slightly smaller room, this was sat looking at me and I was playing guitar, you get some epic late night type volumes out of this. Let's just try the next one. So again, you can save any number of your different combinations of amps and pedals together. So here's one called Lead. Solo, which is using an amplifier which is designed to be like an old Marshall kind of sound.
It sounds great at that volume.
And that's the whole point, right?
And that's the point. That's the point of it.
You can have, you can have headphones in it. So if there is not really a criticism, I suppose, of the Spark Go, but on the smallest of the Spark products, the only way you can edit the sounds is via the app. So if you're anti-app, if you're an anti-appser, then maybe this isn't for you. But what is quite nice is once you've got your 4 basic presets that you can see here, I've got on this screen, they are actually remembered in the phone, and using this little gold button here and these 4 LED lights here, you can actually toggle between your different presets without having to have the phone attached.
I would like to say quickly that there is an EQ in there. This is my personal opinion on this thing.
I'll show you the EQ
there is
that
an
Pete's talking about.
in here, and that is your friend in any of these small. If you can have an EQ in any app scenario, it helps you just get a little bit more low end and a little bit more sort of presence within the sound. So fiddling is a good thing with these things, and that's just what I like to do.
I think the other thing to say on all 3 of these really small ones, the flat out volume is not the nice place to be. Everything starts to sort of rattle a bit and sound a bit like it would do if you had a little tiny Bluetooth radio and you ran it flat out.
And it's not a criticism. I think it's just if you find that you plug it in and you find out I need a little bit more, EQ is your friend.
So there's one more to do on here, which is again of the presets here. There's millions of other presets we could have gone through, but here's crazy. It's called Insane. And again, look, if you're familiar with the whole Spark thing, I can upload my presets to the cloud. I can find other Spark users who will have uploaded their sounds, and I can copy theirs. There's millions and millions. So there we are. That's what that sounds like. And next we'll try the NUX, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the NUX. Again, we'll put the spec on screen now. Little red sticker across the front of it here you can just peel off. You can see it's quite a bit bigger enclosure than the positive grid, but still super small, battery powered, USB, all that kind of stuff.
It's tiny, isn't it?
We're running this on mains at the moment, and unlike the Blackstar, the NUX does come with its mains supply. Okay, so let's look at the app now. It's a sort of following a similar concept to the positive grid, but as I said before, just done not as nicely looking. So presets you can see across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. The second row down is showing me the effects that are used in the chain to make that preset.
Okay.
The grayed out ones are the ones that are switched off, but again, it's easy to switch them back on again if you want to. Below that are the settings for each of the effects blocks. So you can see they're changing as I'm hitting the effects blocks. Crazy features on here. If you want to, you can load your own IRs into it. Not entirely sure that at this price point anyone's going to get anywhere near that, but you can do if you want to. The NUX has a drum machine built into it, which I really like. I've been using this at home actually recently myself, and I do use the drums quite a bit. You can stream music to it. You can stream music to all three of these via Bluetooth, right? But one of the things you can do via the Mighty Lite app is actually load in tracks so that they're stored within the app.
Did have some other ones on there when we did the video, didn't it? It was cool.
And then what you can do again is create loops within those tracks. So if you're only interested in learning the solo from a song over and over again, you can kind of cut the solo out of the song and just get that going round and round and round and round. And then finally over here we've got the settings page. The only thing that's desperately interesting there is the tuner. You can see it's quite a nice looking tuner. And then interestingly on the USB side of things, if you want to, you can have the USB as an audio interface output on there.
So into your laptop.
Into your laptop, which you can use either to record whatever you're playing. You can use it for reamping. You can just take a dry output if you want. Anyway,
that's when the IR loader comes in handy, isn't it?
It's quite sophisticated for what is ultimately a diddy little amplifier.
Little thing.
Without the app plugged in, you've got, unlike the positive grid, you have at least got a few things you can do without the app. So gain, volume, tone, you can adjust your reverb delay level, you can start the drum machine if you want to. And this green button here is how you scroll through your presets. So you'll see each time I press it.
And red, of course, is loudest.
So headphone socket, obviously there is an aux in as well. So if you don't have Bluetooth and you've got some ye old fashioned CD player that you need to, connect the headphone output to this, you can do. Anyway, let's have a little listen to some of the sounds. Here's our clean jazz sound.
Already more full.
It sounds a bit bigger, doesn't it?
It's definitely more sounding.
Yep, sure. It's a heavier one, dual rectifier. Do you want to play some drums to this as well? Here we go. Hang on, master volume.
Going with that.
I was going to say, where did that go?
What was that? I thought I was in a key and I was in another key.
There's loads of different drum patterns on here.
This key was Monday.
Different
That's
styles.
This key I was playing.
There is a metronome as well if you'd rather just replace the drums with a metronome.
I love that. That's cool, isn't it?
Another quick high gain one, just, replicating a different guitar amp. I remember this super reverb one from previous demos being a nice, clean.
I mean, there's a lot of effects going on that
well,
one.
And speaking of which then, let's just quickly show you how I would adjust that. So it's easy to change the reverb on there. So look, I'm gonna click that purple square that says RVB underneath, reverb. I've only got two controls for reverb, decay, which is the amount of reverb, and level, which is its mix. And I can just drag my finger down and make it less.
Oh,
if I want to, I can turn the delay off completely. That's the little on and off switch here, look. Turn it back on, but adjust them maybe down in the mix. So whilst I don't think it's as visually as attractive as the app that comes with the positive grid, I don't think it's any less easy to use.
No.
It is easy peasy to use.
I mean, and visually, that looks better than this, in my opinion, as well.
Oh, you like the look of the visual look? Yeah, well,
but how much is the next one up, the Spark Mini? The next size up, because that's more like this size, isn't it? But it's more money.
Probably a little bit bigger even still. So yeah, I mean, roughly 120 quid. Next one up, 200 quid. Biggest one, sort of 250.
Yeah, so you're talking much more than this anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, there are a couple more presets here, but actually these I think are for, actually that one's not, that's a gainy one, but the last one is actually an acoustic one. You can, for these and these, use acoustic or bass guitars with them if you want to. Quite what a bass guitar through this will sound like, or this for that matter, I'm not sure. So that's the NUX Mighty Lite. I can actually switch my phone recording off now because the last one, that was very Borat style introduction.
It's good
because the Blackstar doesn't have an app, so let's switch.
But it does have Bluetooth, right? So you can stream your music.
Okay, Blackstar Fly. Quite a big range of products within the Blackstar Fly range. This is one of the sort of the middle ones. So you can have this amplifier with no Bluetooth, and it'll be the cheapest of the three. You can have it with Bluetooth, which makes it much the same price as, in fact, pretty much the same price as the other two here. Or you can have it rechargeable and with Bluetooth, and that'll make it more expensive.
Yeah, and you can have a cabinet, sorry, you can have an extension cabinet, right? So you can have two of them.
I will say, I think this is a bit of a, not rip-off is the wrong word, but it doesn't come with the power supply, and it's 35 quid for the power supply.
So you're better off buying the chargeable one.
NUX. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it does come with batteries, but I'm sort of thinking you've got to get through a lot of packets of batteries before it's cheaper to have a power supply. That said, I sold one of these to a friend of mine 2 or 3 years ago who was learning to play guitar, and he was running this like full volume, and he phoned me like the day after he had it to say, oh, it sounds like it's faulty like that. And anyway, I listened to it and I was like, no, the batteries have just run out. So he did literally get like a day if you run the batteries. Similarly, when I had a Blackstar Fly, I used to run it on batteries as well, but I would use mine at like quarter volume, and I used to get like 6 months out of the same batteries.
Same with me. I still have the same batteries in mine.
Anyway, so the Blackstar Fly has no programming, no app, no nothing. So it's very much like a conventional kind of guitar amplifier. If I want to introduce distortion, I have to press the overdrive button and turn the gain up. And if I want to introduce, the only effect it has in it is a delay, like an echo effect. And again, I just have to dial that in. But it's not a bad sounding little amplifier as it stands. So here we go. So we'll find a bit of gain now. And if you want to introduce a bit of delay, the big knob on the end here does the time, so how much gap is there between each repeat, and the little micro kind of knob here is how loud is it.
Mind the gap.
Go.
Sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah, I quite like it, to be honest with you.
I wish there was a V-Book.
Until I got my NUX version of this, I was super happy with my little Blackstar. I used to do, I still do quite a lot of rubbish where I'm just sitting at home and I play on Instagram with my daughter's little, she's got this pink Jackson guitar and this little matching pink Blackstar amp. And I use like an iPhone to record myself playing in the bedroom. And I get loads of comments on, great tone, what amp are you using? And just going like, this. You know, it's like, I think for what it is, it is a good sounding thing. So
it's still good after all this time. You know?
Yeah, and actually the other thing that Blackstar have done is loads of different color versions of this and
Yeah.
limited edition graphics.
Oh yeah,
on the
if you watch
front
the
and all
video,
that
we'll
kind
be
of stuff.
playing 100 of these. We
Yeah.
plug them and you can watch it up there as well.
So I guess, again, we probably always say this in videos, what a great time to be alive. It's, you know,
when we were young.
Yeah, exactly. It's any one of these three is a pretty amazing sounding little amplifier to just take around with you or have in your bedroom or whatever like that. Don't forget, with any one of these three, they all have Bluetooth on them. So you can stream, you know, music from a phone or a tablet or any other kind of player device with Bluetooth through these. And that's, I think, where most of the fun comes, right? Just jamming along with your favorite guitar tracks. Spec obviously is slightly different on each one. So hopefully you've got an idea of that as we've been through each one. Price wise, £99 for this one, less if you don't want Bluetooth. Don't forget you have to buy the power supply separately.
35 quid.
This £99 as well, comes with the power supply.
This also takes the batteries in here in the back, so you know.
Yeah.
You can
so
use that for batteries.
absolutely. So you know, you quite a lot of features on here that you don't get on the Blackstar.
Yeah.
Little Positive Grid one is £129.
Okay.
You will find throughout the year that Positive Grid will do little price promotions on these things. So I think
Deals with this and
right
that, yeah.
now, as we're filming this video, and possibly for the run up for Christmas 2023, it's at £109, but the normal price is £129 on that.
Check the links below for that.
That obviously is rechargeable.
Yeah.
So if you want to run it on the mains, you do it via a USB charger.
Yeah.
But actually, I think, does it give you 9 hours or 10 hours or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Everything
Crazy.
is all rechargeable amps are always volume dependent. So full volume, you get a lot less playing time as low volume. But there you are.
Yeah.
I think we'll just end this video with a bit of a recap maybe of just some back-to-back playing so you can kind of go, oh, I can see the relative sound difference between the three.
Yep.
But honestly, all three perfectly good,
Desktop amps.
tiny weeny little amps that, you know, especially I think if you've just started to learn to play guitar and the amp that you got in the pack is one of those like wasp in a jam jar sounding little 10 watt amplifiers, it's definitely worth an upgrade to one of these three.
I mean, if you're just traveling around, man, have one of these, put it in your car. Great.
That's it. Right, cool. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.